Yeah, yeah.
Village is
Sharp as a tack. Yeah. Get the first victims over here.
Now, yeah, can you hear me now? I had 4 weddings last summer. One of them, there was probably 600 people at that wedding, and it was in a new building, and the acoustics was great in there, and I was not speaking into a microphone, and people in the back told me they could hear every word I said. So I thought it was great in South Fortuna. But I married 4 couples last year, and all was big weddings.
pretty fun. Now, Charlie, you're
Hi there, Mr. Scheubeck. How are you?
Pretty good. For fellas no good, I'm pretty good.
Oh, no, you can't say you're no good. You are good.
Where do I sit? Right next
there.
to you?
You sit right there.
Sit right down there. I got to ask you a question. This man wants you to tell a story about your lifetime here, what you know is connected with me or whatever.
Okay.
got any stories
Well,
about Charlie?
If I tell them everything I know about you, you'll take me out and shoot me.
No, Andrew, that's not so. No, this man used to come over where we live in Zenia when I was just a little kid. He's 7 years older than I, and we had some great times together, have all our life. He lived out there in the mountains at Mina, and I lived at Zenia.
And what's his name?
Andrew Scheubeck.
Scheubeck.
Yeah, and he's got lots of knowledge about the things that's happened in our world since he was arrived in it. He was born there.
Well, I knew Andy's wife, and I knew her folks before she was born, so she's a little younger than me, but I went to school with his wife.
My first wife. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mother of these boys here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all the rest of them are out there now going out to visit her. All the other group now is out there visiting Carolyn.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so,
Well, has he already got the dope on you?
Well, he will have before we're done.
Or do you want, maybe you want to question me first?
We're not going to just talk about it. It's not questions. You just tell them whatever you want to hear.
Okay.
Tell me about the retired justice. You're retired in
Yeah, I'm a retired justice court judge for the state of California. I became judge in 1960, and I retired in 1974. I just quit. I was working 4 or 5 businesses, and I couldn't do it all, and so I was holding court on the hood of my pickup on weekends and sending people to jail and doing this and that. I was well known in my country, and I had to marry all the young people that came of age, and I'm still doing it. And after way over 200 marriages, sometimes you just can't say no. So I'm still doing it. But it's one story I'll tell you about a wedding that I performed over at Ruth, California. I was working 6 days a week over around Weaverville. That's 100 miles away from home, and I got back and they said they had a fly-in wedding they wanted me to perform over at the AA ranch at the airport there, at the big AA ranch. It was a big place for guests come, and my God, there was 25 or 30 airplanes flew in there, and I performed that wedding, and I had one drink with the people, and they wanted me to stay and have lunch, and I had to get back home, and sometimes, you know, the people that you marry, they'd give you something for marrying them, you know, that was only customary. And so, by golly, you know, I left. They gave me an envelope, and I left, went back across the river, and I met an old boy over there. His name was Jim Ray Donahoe, and he'd been logging in the woods, and he come back by, and he knew that I always had a bottle of whiskey underneath the front seat of my pickup. It was a Jim Beam bottle, and it was them pickups in those days. Why, you could slide a bottle of whiskey right on the floorboard. So anyway, he knew I had one, so he stopped me and we had a drink. And while we were having a drink or two there, why, I took this envelope out to see. I thought, my God, there's at least $50 in here. And you know what there was in the envelope? There was $10 in the envelope. Took one whole day of my life to go do this, and they flew in like a big, rich bunch of people. But I told Jim Ray Donahoe, I said, I'll bet by God that old boy only got a $7.50 woman. So that's a story. That's true story.